Philippines they're gonna open up their new Facebook. You guys have your own now. I heard it's called Facebook.
Facebook book. All right, let's see.
Be here for the next day.
Keep the mic straight. Why do we have a random selfie stick in here?
That's not a selfie stick.
Oh, that's what that smelly stain is. All right, cool. Hello, everybody. So we got this camera rolling here. Hello, everybody. This is our first inaugural episode of the Solid Podcast featuring my homie Lanai.
How's it going, man? Thanks for having me. Before we get started, I just got to say, you should have done this a long time ago.
You know,
everyone's always on Facebook and in social media dogging each other and putting people down. I got to say, this is one of the smartest guys I know. And I always tell my friends I know a genius. But this is the dumbest thing to take this long to put a podcast together. He was telling me about podcasts, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. And then you waited till today, 2017. I guess better late than never.
Well, okay, let me qualify that. I have been doing technology podcasts for over 10 years.
Yeah, but nobody listens to that shit.
Only my nerd friends, they know, right? And then right now I host a show in the UK, which is funny. So in Great Britain, I'm famous in the bathroom.
Yeah, I don't live in the UK, so I'm glad you're doing this.
We live in never mind. It's almost like UK.
Yeah.
So anyway, to get this thing started, like, let's start with the reason why I sort of wanted to do this show. I wanted to do this show just because I missed the whole aspects of like sort of talk radio in a sense. Like we used to do way back in the day. Remember?
By the way, this is talk radio. Millennials, we just changed the name to podcast to disguise it that you weren't getting old. He's getting old, so we changed it to podcast.
Yeah, because then talk radio sounds like, we should have like walkers and drum signs and MAGA hats.
Yeah.
But at least with podcasting, it's something that's, sort of not really new. Podcast has been out for, almost 12 years. But it seemed to be all the rage all of a sudden. That beeping you hear in the back is, let me stop that because that's going to drive me insane.
People saying what's up?
Yeah.
But you're talking about podcasts and you're talking about talk radio. That's really, it's what it is. And we always thought it sounded old, or that was what our parents listened to. So in a sense, it's talk radio. It
is talk radio.
And we love talk radio.
And the cool thing is, like, we have so much going on. And with, the political environment, the economic environment, the quote unquote fake news, which there is some validity to what he says. I thought that, people at home are starting to feel affected. And we, for the most part, have been somewhat isolated because we're out here by ourselves. We kind of do our own thing.
Yeah.
But then there's part of it is I'm listening to people who are genuinely scared or upset. And, as friends of everyone, I'm like, we could sit down and just talk story about random things, to give people a break from the craziness, or if necessary, talk about the craziness and just try to, ease the pain.
And sound halfway intelligent.
But
you always have an intelligent insight. I always respect the way you look at things. I think you did a post the other day about Tiger Woods. Was it the other day? Yesterday?
Yeah. It was about 3 days ago.
And everybody was trashing him, and we're quick to judge, first of all. I don't think the guy wasn't even drinking, right?
No, he was on painkillers, basically Percocet.
Yeah, so
Molly Percocet.
But anyway, that's a good example of what I appreciate that you do and have been doing. You kind of give everybody a different insight.
Well, and I actually got some hate mail from that because people were mad because I addressed it with a plethora of the N-word. Number one, I'm black, so I can do that, whether you like it or not. I know people don't like that. I know people are irritated by that. That's the truth. Yeah. I can do that, whether you like it or not. And I do feel that the media and public in general, us too, it's not just the media. I don't even want to slam them. We elevate the living crap out of people. And then when we're bored of them, the minute the media says anything negative about them, we help push them down.
It's the worst thing in the world. It's the worst.
And I don't like that.
And it comes with the job and the territory, of course. But I think it has gotten worse because of social media.
Right.
And
you ever heard of the
crybabies? I tell you, there's a guy who just created a page called Complainers or Crybabies, and I'm supporting that guy 100%.
I gotta find that.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is put the hate Yelpers on blast, basically, because it's funny how you can read a Yelp review, and I don't like Yelp in the aspect of you can give dog people and they're hardworking business people, local companies, maybe two people trying to open this business, and then you go in there and slam them because you're the health inspector. I like it in a sense that it helps you find restaurants and all those things, but at the same time, you shouldn't be complaining. We never complained about shit, did we?
No.
10 years ago, we never complained about nothing.
Well, if you did complain, Mom would slap the shit out of you.
Yeah. What's wrong with you people? Always complaining. You got so many good things going on.
Well, okay, so here's the thing that kind of cracks me up about this, right? There was one point where I don't think people really understand that when you're dogging a business, right? Sometimes people come from an emotional standpoint and not a factual standpoint. And although, on the surface, I'm like a genuinely, kind of nice person. Inside my brain, I'm super robotic. I have to find the balance or find the understanding behind the deeper side of things. So, for instance, this actually happened a couple years ago when Yelp was super big in Hawaii. Somebody wrote a really crappy review about Chiang Mai. And I love Chiang Mai. It's pretty good Thai food.
Uh-huh.
And the lady had mentioned that she got food poisoning from that. So I knew who it was, and I asked her, I was like, so did you go to the hospital? And she was like, no. And I go, well, you didn't have food poisoning. She goes, no, I got home, I got sick, I had the pukes, I had the squirts, like the whole 9 yards. I go, yeah, that's not food poisoning. As an Army medic and, having, been in the jungle, I can show you real food poisoning pretty much requires hospitalization and IV therapy.
Dehydration.
You can have a reaction to mixing two foods you shouldn't have ate.
Yeah.
Or you could have a reaction to, if you had shrimp in there, sometimes the shrimp, in that little devated
or even
part,
raw eggs.
Yeah. You can just get reactions. So for instance, and I'm going to use an example that is not exactly accurate, but you can look it up on Google yourself. There's a thing where, like, if you eat carrots, you shouldn't eat this other type of thing.
Things that
in
go
the
together
same,
don't work.
say 5 or 6 hour period.
Like men and women.
And if you do, it's going to cause a gastroenteritis, right? Or a disruption in your stomach. That's not food poisoning, people.
Yeah. I like that. Somebody put, I have a restaurant in downtown Rain, and we've been getting really good.
You're just going to drop plugs now?
All day.
I was going to save it.
Hey, just be ready. I'll be dropping plugs all day today. I don't know if you see my Aloha plate pops up there. But no, these two people went online, and we were slammed that night, and they said they had food poisoning, both of them. The two that came in for dinner, these two girls. No one else had food poisoning. They did order the Caesar salad, which we use raw egg, so we thought maybe that's what it was. But they ate at a lot of different places that day as well, too.
Right.
So, we're complaining about complainers right now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's just a thing that I don't think people realize, that there is a lot of hard-working business people out there trying to do something. These guys are helping the community. What most people don't know, while the news is yakking about the federal government, and while the news is yakking about Exxon and Apple and the big corporations, a large portion of the United States economy is built by small business owners like us.
Yes.
Right? Sorry, I hit the mic. We're small business owners, right? So as small business owners, like, you pay attention to what we pay in taxes, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it's a nightmare, and a lot of people don't understand, especially the everyday customer that in your neighborhood, places that you go and visit. That's what drives me nuts. It's like your neighbor. Hawaii's so small, I call everybody my neighbor.
Right.
You can call everybody your neighbor.
Yeah.
And then you come into my house or my business and you trash it because you had a bad day, or maybe the waiter had a bad day. Maybe his mother died. And he came to work.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up.
Well, what you gonna do?
I'm glad you brought that up. Oh my God, see, this is why I wanted Lanai on my first episode, because we've been friends for so long that I know that he would bring up something that I wanted to that I would have forgot. Here's another friend of mine. I love him to death. Chuggy Bear, Grant. Grant wrote. Oh, what's another one? He wrote. A valet came to him and said that he couldn't drive a stick. Should he still tip him? And I was like, yeah. And so people were heated. They were talking on a smack. People were like, no, going back and forth. And so I dropped a bit of science on the post, and I got a lot of flack for it. But I'm going to drop it again because I think it's something everyone should know. And you eat out a lot, and I started eating out a lot because of you. Like, during our radio days, that's all we did.
Yeah,
right?
It was free, that's why.
Exactly. So here's my thought on that. If you have a bad day, you don't necessarily tell people, you kind of hold it in.
Of course.
Right? Sometimes a waiter has a bad day. Sometimes a waiter has a situation that steps out of their control. Like, I worked in restaurants for a long time. Sometimes the kitchen is about to put the plate in the window and they drop it.
Yeah.
So they got to recook it. Right? And then so people are like, oh, I have bad service. I'm going to not tip the waiter, or I'm going to give him like a 5 or 10% tip. And I say, no, number one is passive aggressive. Number two is absolutely dick moving pussy, because you do not know. Those people got kids to feed. That waiter might have 3 little children at his house, especially if he's part Filipino. Sorry, I had to do that.
Throw it in there.
So what you do instead is you ask the waiter, you say, hey, I noticed the service been a little, thing. Is everything okay with you?
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, bro, I'm super sorry. The kitchen messed up, or I got sat like 4 tables. They'll tell you.
Yeah.
Right? And then 9 times out of 10, they'll discount your bill more than you would have stiffed them on a tip.
10 out of 10. Last night, I must have comped 3 or 4. Not saying you could come in and complain about it, but 3 or 4 people because we did drop some plates.
Yeah,
and it did take a little bit longer. But I think the problem is entitlement.
Yes.
And nowadays, sorry, millennials, you all think you're entitled. I just made the cusp, by the way, past millennial. What's the cusp? 35?
Shit, I broke that. I punched that cups in the nuts.
I can tell right there. I can tell by the beard. But yeah, no, hashtag agree with you 100%. And not only as a business owner, as a customer.
As a customer too.
Yeah, I think, well, no more aloha, right? No more aloha. We all forgotten how to use it sometimes or forgotten about it. And that's how you become a complainer and you start taking out on people and the waiter. And
this is going to sound so grandpa, but you know what? In my brain, when the aloha really started to slide was when we went from about 40 channels on cable to a couple thousand. So we spend so much time looking at the outside of the island, watching all of these shows, watching the bitchy wives of some random city and all of that stuff. A lot of people don't realize it, but you start to mirror some of that behavior.
Well, I think it started when MySpace kicked in. Thanks, Tom, by the way. MySpace killed it all.
I have to do this real quick. Hold up.
All right. What are we doing? You got to move your jacket.
Oh, no, that's what Tom does. Tom's like...
Oh, I get it now. I get it. All right. Yeah, so, I mean, what are you going to do? I think you just have to stop complaining and understand and put yourself in the situation.
Or just ask.
What would grandma say?
What's a good reason?
Yeah,
ask for the reason. Like if your kid does something dumb, my mom used to just beat the hell first and then ask later. But, for the most part, you conversate these things. If there's problems going on in a relationship, you conversate these things. Yeah. So why not ask, hey, what's the problem? Like, any particular reason why my joint is cold or, this is not
this is going to lead on to a whole new conversation about communication because we don't have, in the communication world that we have, and I actually I give it to him sometimes because I'll be like, you're the easiest guy to get a hold of. You're always on Facebook, you're on Instagram, you can text, you get a hold, but I can't get a return call from him.
I'm just busy.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? It's a communication breakdown. And then the other part of it is entitlement. And, as parents, we always say, we don't want our kids to be or grow up like we did. We don't want it tough. So we've been spoiling them. I'm guilty of it. I got 2 girls.
Here's the way I think we can solve this. Okay, first of all, something that you'll learn about me over the course of this podcast. By rarely, I mean 99.999678 carry to 1 square root 3. I don't complain about shit unless I have a solution. I'm going to come with a solution. First thing, whenever you go to any restaurant or any service-oriented business, introduce yourself to the person, say what your name is, and say their name. Use their name often. Why? You have a hard time being a dick to somebody when you know them. Yeah. So, like, when Carrie comes to the table and say, hey, Carrie, can I get ice water? But me, I don't like, regular ice water. I need sparkling water. It's East Coast thing. I ask them for sparkling water. And as many times as possible, I'm like, hey, Carrie, can I get, some extra hot sauce? I'm black. Things like that. So I often use their name. And the other thing is when I go to a restaurant, if I'm going to frequent that establishment, I will sit in Carrie's section and only Carrie's section as much as possible.
Oh, yeah. You're going to build this rapport.
So you build that rapport. You always get exemplary service. Then, guys on a date, when you bring the lady for the first time, they'll come up and they'll say, hey,
impressed.
Long time, bro. Nice to see you. Hey, can I get you your usual? Yeah. Oh, should I get a red wine for the lady? And then, girl is like dripping already because she's like, damn, this dude got juice.
VIP. You just created your whole thing in 3 visits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that I think we all need to do is take a chance on talking to strangers. Take a chance on lightening up someone's day. So a crazy example. Yesterday, I saw a caregiver and an old lady in Whole Foods. She was pushing the cart. The lady had a little box with the oxygen machine, and they stopped by the smokehouse.
Yeah.
And then she was like, Margot, what was that you got me from here before? It was so soft and moist and whatever. And I was like, pork belly. And then the old lady was like, yeah, that's right. I was like, man, that is the best. And so she said, Margot, can you get me one of those? I'm like, one like in one piece or one like that whole pan? And then the old lady started cracking up laughing. She's like, well, I get like a couple pieces for her and I, but if you buying, I'll take the whole pan.
And that's so good because that's so old school.
Yes.
Talking to people. I don't know if you guys know what that means. When you talk to people, boy, that creates everything. Friendships, communities, it does everything. But again, we're back to everybody wants to vent on Facebook. I don't know if you noticed, but I don't write a whole lot of stuff on Facebook anymore. It's very rare. It's more to promote whatever I'm doing. If I didn't have to promote anything, you wouldn't find me on any social media, by the way. It's promotion for me. But the reason I stopped is because I see so many people asking for, can you pray for me? Can you pray for this? Can you do this for me? It's like everyone's crying about something instead of, I don't know. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I understand.
It's almost
100%.
Depressed. It's almost depressing to open up my face. Unless I'm following a bunch of crybabies. I don't know. But I don't really look through it anymore because of that. It's if you want to, if you, not in the sense if you're not going to help somebody if they're looking for a mechanic. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about bitching and crying about everything. And I understand freedom of speech, and you can say whatever you want, and you can do whatever you want on social media. I get that. But do we have to be negative about it? That's what I'm talking about. There's no need for negativity.
Right. And the thing about the negativity is it spreads. It's like the most cancerous cancer of all, because as soon as you go on to drop, like an angry post about something, everybody else who feels the same way comes on. Now, I'll admit, I drop angry posts about traffic on a regular basis.
Yeah, but part of that, though, is endorsement, right? Because you want everyone to back you up. You want everyone to feel like, all right, I'm not just the
And I would hope to think I'm above
that,
but I ain't. I definitely love it when people say, I agree. But I think when I go on to say bitch about the left laners, I'm hoping that somebody would share that with their auntie or uncle that's a consummate left laner that has no business in the left laner.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so the freeway says 50. If you're in the left lane doing 50, you're wrong, because it's for active passing.
Here we go with his traffic issues.
Right? It's just active passing. What I really hate is when I see the truck driver with the big-ass lorry going down there less than the speed limit in the left lane. Trucks stay in the middle. Like, there's a reason for that. Because what happens is you get people that want to pass, so they start to pass on the right, and you got people in the middle that want to get the exit.
But in defense of some of the trucks, one of the issues that we don't understand, or the general public doesn't understand, the truck needs a amount of time or space in between them because they're downshifting so many gears or whatever you have it. But people here don't understand that, and they're either too close. So that's why you find them and you're not going so far here. Yeah. There's not a long highway. So in their defense, as far as truck drivers go, because I have a couple of friends that explained to me that people here don't know how to drive, but we know that. So I think that's part of the reason why they do that, is what I'm saying. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. We gotta say hi to some people.
Yeah, my little sister just said the sun shines even on the dog's ass. That was pretty funny. Andrew said we can leave a tip for him anytime. Andrew, I don't even want to go where you're going with that.
Do you look at FemNew or one
no,
of the
no. Andrew's a really, really, really cool cat. My homie Sean Sulio's listening all the way from Micronesia. Great.
What's up, Micronesia?
Hey, can you tell some of your cousins to get the hell out of Kakaako Park? I'm sorry, I was joking. That was mean.
That was not good.
Pony said, "What's up, brothers? Hi, Pones.
Pony,
I love you, Pones.
Aloha.
Hey, we have a event coming up on the 17th on the Saturday, so you can come and watch me MC and then watch Pony stress." But yeah, that's great. I guess mainly the thing that I would like to see people do is just pass the aloha a little bit more. Bust out the niceties. Say hello. If you come to Starbucks and you see me, I'm gonna say something to you, whether I know you're not. I love to mess with people at Starbucks. I love to see someone that I know got brand new shoes. You can tell because they walk funny. And I'm like, damn, girl, nice kicks. And I'm not coming from the pickup line kind of perspective.
That's the problem too, though.
People don't know how to accept compliments. We talk about that a lot when we travel. People do not know how to. If someone compliments you, just say thank you.
We talk to everybody on the train. We've traveled a lot. So, I mean, talking about travel, I think we've been halfway around the world, him and I, over the past 20 years. But it's weird how people have these days either think you're crazy if you talk to them. Hawaii people, not so much as today it's a little different. But and when you go anywhere, anywhere in America, you talk to somebody and they think you're a little crazy.
I think it is because we are actually crazy.
Who's this guy? I don't know him. What are you talking about my shoes? Anyway, what are you going to do?
No. So I just think it's very important that you do pass these compliments from time to time and help people, sort of get a whiff of what's going on and make them sort of feel better.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. It's all our duty. We all have to get to it. If we don't start bringing more aloha in the next 20 years, we're all in trouble. I mean, I'm not going to be alive, but for my kids, we're going to be in trouble.
Yeah. Yes, that is absolutely agreed. So I definitely think, being able to say stuff and talk to people from time to time and let people feel, sort of comfortable is a great way to sort of get this started. So what I would like to see is a little bit more of going back to the aloha. And this is, it's easy for us to say we're from Hawaii. Let's say you're listening and you're not from Hawaii. Just be nice. Be nice to random strangers, because I believe in the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
You do something nice here, that person will pass it on whether they mean to or not, because you just sort of lightly uplifted their spirits.
I was watching Ellen the other day. Yes, I watch Ellen because I think she's the most positive thing on television. But that's her slogan. That's her slogan. Be nice. Champ Kaneshiro. That's been his slogan for as long as I've known him too. The TV guy.
Yeah.
Everyone confused him with Tiny. Yeah, I mean he down at the end of the day, he's the nicest guy. And it's so easy. What's so difficult about being nice? I don't get it.
I agree. I absolutely 100% agree. Okay, so this is going to be the part in the show where normally we take a break and we run a commercial.
We don't have any advertisers.
We don't have any advertisers yet. I do have one. My lawyer, the lovely Marcus Landsberg Law Office, has said he will sponsor the show. So this is probably where I'm going to plug in a voiceover where I talk about Landsberg Law. And it's going to give me a chance to reset the audio file real quick. Hold on 1 second.
This show brought to you by Rain Honolulu. Please come eat at my restaurant.
Okay. We got one. And then...
What's up, everybody on Facebook?
I'm going to press record again. Okay. We got the second one rolling. All right, cool. Wait, what the heck was that?
All right.
This is Doc screwing up the whole process. All right, anyway. So, again, let's get on to some actual topics. First of all, let's catch up with you, Lanai. This is so funny because we're so comfortable with each other. We didn't even do the full introduction. And it's kind of funny because most people, if you're from Hawaii, you already know who this guy is. But anyway, just in case someone's listening that's not from Hawaii, tell them a little bit about the Lanai.
I'm from the island of Lanai. And I gave up people trying to pronounce it Lanai. Only Leslie Wilcox from PBS says Lanai. But I've been doing radio for 25 years. I'm still doing radio. I'm on in Tokyo and Fukuoka, and I do mostly television now. I have a cooking show, Lifestyle Network, DirecTV, Cox Cable, Time Warner. If you have any of those, it's on in your country. It's on the Roku box called Cooking Hawaiian Style. I got to get you on the show. This guy can cook, and you can check it out in every state. It's also on FNX. FNX, I believe, is 150 states in the U.S. It's a pretty good show. In Vegas, I've been seeing it at casinos, believe it or not, which is kind of cool. Yeah, people send me like Snapchats or Instagram. Hey, you're on in a hotel or a casino or what have you, which is kind of cool. But anyways, yeah, that's it. I'm an entrepreneur. Doc and I have been doing a bunch of stuff together from 17 years old. I mean, he's much older than me, but I think I met you when I was 17 when I started in radio.
My homie. Chris, we call him Pachi. I call him China White, because he's half white, half Chinese, and that's what you call heroin, China White. Anyway, Chris says I can definitely eat as well.
Yeah, come and eat.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
Hey, James Coles is in the mic. What's up, James?
Coles.
Head Flintstone in the building.
James Cole. I love James. James Cole, one of Hawaii's best DJs ever.
I hit him up. I was like, yo, I need you on the show because, I want some of the old school uncles on at first.
Yeah.
Because you and I had this conversation last time we went to China. We were sitting around waiting for a plate or something. And I was like, for us guys, like anybody over the age of, say, 35, we need to go back to being uncle.
Yeah.
And nowadays, people are so afraid to talk to other people's kids because they think the person's going to yell at them. I don't care. Yell at me. If I see a kid do something stupid, I'm going to say, hey, boy, what you doing?
Yeah, I think that's what's missing. It's so important because that's what you talk about, a community, raising a child.
It takes
everybody,
a village.
Everybody has to get involved in that. Anyway, here we go again off the subject.
No. So
thanks for having me.
No, so I really think that I would love to get some more of the Hawaii's luminaries, cats like James Coles. One of my, the guy that got me into DJing. How's that? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what you're most famously known for to me, besides radio, and it's weird to have you here because it's because of you I got on radio. We met at Club Somewhere, and then
Sillies,
that's what it was. And you're like, I'm at the radio thing, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna come in and check it out one time. I came in to check it out, and then Lanai's like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. Just press this button, and then he goes to the bathroom, and then that worked. And then a couple more times, Lanai's like, oh, I got this date. Can you stay here and press buttons for me? Don't say shit. I'm like, okay. So like, I'm working. Lanai's supposed to be in there. I'm pressing the buttons. He's off somewhere having dinner or doing whatever else came after that. And then next thing you know, the boss comes in, Alan. What the hell is there a black dude in the studio for? Lanai's like, oh, I'm teaching them how to do this stuff. And next thing you know, I worked there for 10 years.
Yeah. That's how it all started.
That's how it all started.
And then we started traveling all over the damn place.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk, speaking of travel, so that's what I want to say. I want to talk to you about traveling for a bit. My buddy Christian Self, the owner of Bevy, he's talking about taking this trip to Japan. And so knowing that I went to school in Japan, he hit me up and he was like, yo, what should I do? Where should I go? Like, you know, these are some of the things. And I was like, oh, this is so dope because Lanai's coming to record tomorrow.
Wow.
Let's put together like a quick little top set of tips for traveling anywhere in general, and then we'll break it down to Japan. So
awesome.
What are some of your favorite tips about traveling in general?
Well, the first thing you got to do is you got to make a copy of your passport.
Yeah.
People always carry their passport around. You put your passport inside the safe and you carry a Xerox copy inside your pocket. The second thing is your exchange for money. Don't exchange it all. Everyone, for some reason, Hawaii people think when you travel, they're going to Vegas and they bring a big wad of money. You don't need to bring a wad of money. I don't know if you guys know, but they take credit cards and debit cards and everything else in the other parts of the world, and you probably get a better exchange too when you charge things. So I always tell people, just bring like 500 cash or 1,000 cash.
Right.
Travel light. Always bring 3 sets. I always say 3 is the magic number of extra set of clothes in your carry-on, and it's because if they lose your luggage, it'll take 3 days for them to bring your luggage to your hotel. Roughly 3 days, 2 to 3 days. Japan is different. Japan will bring it the same night. I don't know what they do over there. They're not lazy.
They're not lazy.
That's what it is.
That's all it is. They care about how whatever they do affects other people.
Yes, that's what it is.
And it's funny because Hawaii loves to, steal all kinds of things from Japan, but the most important one we can't seem to do. We can't seem to pick up our own trash, and we can't seem to do stuff where we don't be a problem to someone else.
Yeah, that's true. But I think that's an American thing that has happened to us. Yeah. But those are some tips. I mean, there's a bunch more of little ones that I can't think of at the top of my head. Those are probably the
I think my
ones.
biggest one is packing cubes for your regular suitcase.
I don't use a packing cube because I bring more clothes than I'm supposed to. And you would think a guy who travels all the time shouldn't do that. But I do it all the time. Just because
you change clothes a lot.
I do. I change twice a day. But I have this thing is if the plane goes down in the mountains, I'll have the only guy with clothes. Everybody else won't have any extra.
The best thing you can learn about traveling with your friends. You learn things about your friends when you travel that you don't learn about them no matter how well you know them.
Oh, if you want to go out with a girl and you're at that 6-month, 7-month stage where you think, I think this is the one. Take her on a trip.
That was
take her on a trip. You'll know right away if that's the girl, because if you can't travel with them, you can't live with them.
That is so true, because you're going to live with them temporarily for a couple of days.
Right.
All right, so what I learned about Lanai that I didn't know as his friend for how long, this mofo takes about 5 showers a day. And I'm happy. Like, I love that. I love that about you. He's literally, Lanai don't stink ever. He is the cleanest mofo ever. I'm like, we in a hurry, bro. Just go in there and do like a bitch bath, which is, PTA,
Splash.
Hit the armpits, hit the regions. No, Lanai full on hot water, blang. I'm like, bro, really? We got to be somewhere. That's okay. I'll be quick.
You never know who you're going to meet. Bruh. If you could meet the girl of your dreams.
And you might have that little extra funk.
Yeah, in Japan, June, July, August, it's hot and sticky.
So that's definitely something that I love about you. This brother would take a shower. Like, we're going to...
I thought you'd say something like, I got my shit planned out, or he always goes to cool places or restaurants.
No. You find the good restaurants, but I'm just saying, like, to know your homies is clean is good, because everybody got that one friend that stank and nobody know how to say nothing to him. That brother would shower forever. Me. It kills me.
Yeah, you gotta be clean.
And you use up all the damn hot water, but
you gotta wash your balls. I mean, if you're you ever been on a plane and you sit next to a stink guy?
Yeah.
Oh, boy,
that's the worst.
I'm done. There's no way I can even survive if it's a 20-hour flight. You're screwed.
That is the absolute worst. I want to say what's up to my homie Glenn. I haven't seen Glenn in forever. Hi, Glenn. And then Susan, somebody I love to talk to on Facebook every once in a while. She has a very insightful mind. Hello, Susan.
What's up?
What's crack-a-lack?
You guys following me on Instagram at Lanai? You see my address over there?
Yeah, right there. That's our ghetto ass like graphics department. It's a Sharpie.
Follow me on IG.
Hey, we're both hood, so we know how to do it.
Yeah.
One other thing I wanted to talk about. So we talk about traveling. To me, another important thing is, like you said, like I try to fit everything I can into a carry-on, and I let my suitcase that I check on half the time is empty.
Well, his is empty because he's shopping.
Yeah,
he's bringing home all kinds of stuff.
And I like to bring gifts for the people that I'm going to see. And I might not see anybody in particular, but coming from Hawaii, macadamia nuts and Kona coffee. The little slender lion bags about your big can only make like what, a pot and a half?
Just so you know, if you check in and you can't check in, or like, you know, most places take you at 3.
Yeah.
You pass out a box of chocolate to the front desk. You're getting a junior suite.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know what
I mean?
That's
the reason why I never, ever, ever leave without packing a couple of boxes of macadamia nuts,
coffee,
and then the Kona coffee. Because Kona coffee in the mainland can be $20, $30 a pound. So it's like $5 for us here at Long.
That's funny you said it, because I'm going on a trip next weekend, and I just picked up my Island Princess macadamia nut chocolate, a whole case.
Bruh.
And now I'm getting even smarter. I send it to the hotel so I don't have to carry it.
Yep.
It's just as much, right, if you're paying for extra. So that's a good tip. Bring something for the staff, especially if you're going to Japan.
Now, my other tip is I pretty much travel, especially if I'm going domestic, if I'm going somewhere in the U.S., I travel with no toiletries and no T-shirts and no socks. Because there's a Walgreens or Dwayne Reed,
Uniqlo,
somewhere near Uniqlo, somewhere real nearby. Yeah. So I don't take any of that mess because it's just heavy, and you can always pick it up there, and it's cheaper to pick it up there than here. So then I'm able to bring that back, you know. And then half the time, like a pack of 6 white T-shirts in most places is $14 to $18.
Yeah.
If I don't feel like carrying it back home, I just throw it away.
And it's always good to wear fresh socks when you're walking around.
Yeah, it keep you from getting blisters.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some Japan-specific tips. This is from a buddy, Christian Self.
My favorite city in the world, by the way. I'm on my 3rd passport, people. I go to Japan 4 times a year. And it's funny, I've only been with you there once.
Yeah, Japan is definitely like, I swear I was born there in a different life, you know?
Me too.
So, something to know about Japan. Also applies to Hong Kong and China. Like you said about exchanging the money, they operate on something known as a Suica. And Suica is like a little card, and you can basically use it everywhere. You can touch it on the train. I have mine in my drawer up here. You can use it to get things out the vending machine. You pay for things at the convenience store. Like, that is the #1 form of payment. So
it's genius, by the way.
Fill the Suica card with your cake and not necessarily carry around a lot of cake. And also, you don't got to deal with the thing in Japan. The coins, your pockets, you be leaning to one side, you gather these coins, and you forget that what looks like a quarter to us is $5.
Yeah, and then you're on the train, and then you leave them on the seat. I always get a coin purse when I go. That's the only place in the world I carry a coin purse. Yeah, a fuzzy coin purse.
And so people here in Hawaii, it's like, why do Japanese guys always got a little merce?
Yeah,
they all got a merce because
people,
you out on the road, you're not anywhere near home, and you always end up, you have to carry your own trash. You got to carry a hanky everywhere.
Bro, I was with Musashi Maru one time, sumo wrestler Musashi Maru in Japan, and we went shopping for a purse. And I thought he was buying it for his girlfriend, his wife at the time. And we were shopping for like 2 hours, and I'm like, I don't think she'll like that style. That's more like a little manly, you know? And he's like, what are you talking about? This is for me. And I go, oh, shoot, I didn't know. But everybody carries a purse. More guys carry purses in Japan than women.
When you set out and you're on, especially when you go on a longer travel, right? Because they got trains and stuff. Like, we're used to being somewhere in a 110-mile circle.
Yeah.
You could easily get on a train, travel 300-400 miles. You're nowhere near your hotel, whatever. You need things. So you got your Wi-Fi, you got your battery, your cell phone, your handkerchief, bottled water, coin purse, and then the Gatsby wipes. So you can wipe the sweat and crap off you. So, like, even in Japan, like, I got that fanny pack or that little merce or a small backpack.
For those of you traveling to Japan for the first time, it's very efficient there. Everything is very efficient from getting around. There's English signs everywhere. Even if the guys who can't speak English and you say, I got to use the bathroom or whatever, they're going to walk you to the bathroom. These guys, the Japanese, just got their stuff together. The hardest part about the train station, I have a friend that's there right now and just asked me about the train station. The hardest part, I think, is getting out north, east, south, or west. As long as you know if you're getting out north, south, east, or west, you all good.
Yeah, I tell people before you go, you need to learn 4 kanjis. and those are the ones for the Minami-guchi, Higashi-guchi, Kita-guchi, or whatever. You need to know your north, south, east, west exits, because even people will give you directions based on that. Yeah. Now, the other thing that I would like to point out as a tip, I got hundreds of friends. They're like, "Oh man, it's summertime. We're gonna wrap the family up. We're going to Disneyland."
No.
And I'm like, screw Disneyland. Go to Japan. Go to Incheon. Go somewhere.
Don't even go in the summer.
It's going to save you money.
It's more expensive and it's hotter than hell. It's sticky. June, July, August, I never go to Japan. I get offered gigs and I go, can we move it to September?
Somebody just told me they had scored tickets to go to Japan in July and it was something like $500. I go, the reason why it was $500 because his balls went hot.
Yeah, and I brought I think I brought Bubba B and Christian from Ho'onua one time. And I think they lost 500 pounds just walking to the train station. It's muggy hot, too. Not muggy like Hawaii muggy. It's a different New York style muggy. So I highly don't recommend. If you see cheap flights to Japan, June, July, August, that's why. Because you're going to melt. Just like Vegas, right? Vegas flights are cheap. Hotel flights are cheap. Don't do it then. But you can always check out my, I have a website, lanaistravelclub.com. And it has tips on how to travel, has blogs of Japan, Spain, everywhere I traveled. I've kind of kept a little diary. I've never really promoted it till now, by the way. Maybe I should promote it, huh?
You kept a little diarrhea.
Yeah, a little bit.
Explain me this travel club things. I know what it is, but explain it to the folks out.
Lanai's Travel Club, I started when I got out of radio here in Hawaii, and I said I wanted to travel the world, and I couldn't afford it, obviously. At the time, I was going through this huge transition of the corporate world and becoming an entrepreneur, and I said, I got to go and see the world. That's my passion. How was I going to do it? What I did was I got together with a friend who owned a travel agency and said, look, I want to put these trips together. And the first trip happened with Lanai and Augie. Augie used to be my old radio partner. We did a trip to Australia, and then we did one to Vegas. And we filled up a plane. It was like 350 people. They took care of our air and hotel. And I said, who makes all this money? Of course I know who makes all the money. But I said, I should do this on my own, and I can get all my trip and everything covered by the airline and the hotel because I have this relationship with them. Every 10, 15 trips, I get a free seat. And then they start giving me a commission, right? Because I've been doing it for 6 years now. So we travel all over the world. We do Japan, Spain, Italy. This September, I'm doing Italy and Greece. This will be my 6th time to Italy and Greece. Santorini, Mykonos.
I gotta go to Italy.
Yeah, it's the most amazing thing. I'm doing Japan twice. I'm doing October. I'm doing a cruise around Japan. 10 days, and then I come back for a week, and then I go back to Japan with you. I think that'll be our 2nd time in Japan together.
Yes, in October.
October, yeah. So that's basically the concept of Lanai's Travel Club. But what I'm doing now is finding groups that want to go, and I host it and take you with me. And say you want to go to Japan, I'll put the packages together, do everything so there's no thinking, and I take you and I host you, and I take you to all the top places, which I think we need to talk about. Some of the top places to visit in Japan.
All right, good thing you brought that up because I just got a question from the chat. The chat is on Facebook, by the way. So the next time the show is coming on, if you see the live post and you want to know like how come they're talking about this chat thing, is live on Facebook. Arabiki Damashi, the freaking Indianapolis Colts fan himself, wants to know how's the cigar bars up in Japan.
Oh gosh, there's some good ones. Because Japan, you can still smoke inside. That's the only thing the only negative for me, because I'm not a smoker. I love cigars, but I can't be in a room filled with smoke. I just have the worst allergies. But in Japan, of course, you got some of the best whiskey. In Harajuku, I go to this Cohiba bar. It's Cohiba bar. What's the road that goes up? Harajuku goes this way, and the road that goes up the hill.
Omatesando?
Yes. So the road that goes, if you go to Japan, Harajuku is the shopping district. Is the main road, and then there's a road that goes up a hill to all the main shopping district. On that road, there's a Cohiba bar downstairs, and I'll go there and have a cigar and have some whiskey. But there's bars everywhere, and you can smoke cigars in almost every place that a lot of the high-end places will carry them. I mean, I go to the Conrad Hilton, which is on the 30th floor or whatever in Shiadomi, and I'll go have a scotch, and they have a cigar bar in there, and awesome. That's probably the only place I have scotch and cigar now is Japan, really.
Nice. All right, so we covered Japan a little bit. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell everybody else before we go, because this was for Christian in the first place. Make sure you get a rail pass here. A JR rail pass allows you to ride everything JR, and it's going to cost you between $300 and $400 depending on how many days you want to go, and you have access to almost the entire transportation system.
Well, and the other way to do it is if you don't want it, because some people don't know where they're going to go or how they're going to do it, and maybe 300 or 400 is too steep for you because you don't know. I usually get the card at $100 and you can load it. Yeah. You can load it at all the train stations, but you're looking at $2 a trip, $3 a trip.
It's
you know
cheap.
what I mean? But what he's talking about is you can buy everything on it too. The concession. You got to get an egg sandwich.
The standard rail pass, the one that you can use to catch the train,
the bullet train,
the Shinkansen.
Yeah,
that thing is money.
Yeah,
and just because you go to Tokyo, you don't have to stay in Tokyo. Jump in the Shinkansen.
Yeah,
and
go somewhere else.
The country is beautiful there.
Yeah.
And my thing that I fell in love with Japan is the way that they keep the old style, but then yet add the modernity or the modernness, and they hide it in the old fashioned. Like, you don't necessarily, it looks like, man, this building is ancient, look like it's going to fall apart. And right before you grab the door, it goes,
yeah.
Irashaimasu, hey!
At the end of my trip, I usually go to Hakone, which is an hour train ride into the middle of a volcano.
Dude, it was 10 minutes from my college when I was there.
Best place in the world.
Best place in the world.
Guys, your first trip to Japan and you want to schmooze over your girl, Hakone. Yep. At the end of the trip, it's like it'll just, because Tokyo's like bam, 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 go. And then you go to Hakone and that's it.
Okay, so Adabigi said we need to do a whiskey and cigar tour to Japan. Easy. Absolutely down. My homemade Tomoyuki Suzuki happens to be one of the world's greatest aficionados on whiskey and everything. He was running a beverage manager at the Park Hotel, and he has a book all about Japanese whiskey and everything. Amazing.
Let's put it together.
That would be dope.
Doc, give you my number. Let's put it together.
Okay, so what is your bucket list spot that you haven't been to?
Oh gosh, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. I want to challenge all friends, if I have any friends watching this, and if you have friends of friends, write out a bucket list. All right, I have 4 pages on my bucket list, and I email them to my friends, and my friend will. Did I email this to you?
No, but that is cool, because then your friends will make you go do. Hey, I thought you was going so and so.
So what happens is they go, "What? How come you emailed me this?" I go, "I want you to send me your bucket list," and it gets them thinking, right? And then it gets them going. Shoot, I want to travel, and I hate traveling by myself.
Stop talking. We got to make an app. Shut up.
All right.
You ain't see none of that shit.
Yeah. Just erase that. Delete.
Dude, that's a dope ass idea, though, right?
Yes.
And then you share the bucket list, and then people are like, oh yeah, you add to yours. They add. Somebody send me an email to remind me.
No, I got you, because it's in my phone, and I was gonna grab it to tell you what my bucket list is.
But it's over there.
Yeah, but my getting back to the bucket list. Definitely a 1-month trip around the world on a cruise on the Viking. It's $18,000. So I've been saving. And my goal is to do it in 5 years. For 1 month, $18,000
you can start
around the world, and it's every day you're in a new city. That's one of the things. The other thing that's on my bucket list is Maldives. Yeah, I want to do every island though. I don't want to.
Ever since Tom told us about when he used to work there, I was like, man, I want to go check that out.
Awesome place. My good friend Brian Keolana spends a lot of time there and sends me pictures, and I get jealous. But I've pretty much been to every place in the world that I've wanted to go. Iceland and Scotland and Ireland are probably the other 3. But I've been to Italy, almost every city in Italy. Florence is one of my favorite places to visit. Tuscany, Capri I went to last year. What a beautiful coast, Amalfi Coast, that whole thing.
You can go Amalfi Coast?
Yes, Amalfi.
Everybody's like, Richland. Richland, wait, come over here. Yes. Talk to me. Salamat.
He does that too well. And Japan, always one of my favorites. Korea is now on my top 10 list. If you're a first-time traveler, everything's cheap. You love Korean barbecue and you love shopping. Korea is cheap, I tell you. That's a great place to go for a first trip.
Love you.
Go check it out. But yeah, that's pretty much what's yours?
The Islay, Scotland. It's basically, there's Scotland, and then there's Islay, I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Islay. It's where your Aberdeen, Glenmoyer.
Oh yeah.
It's the super peaty, not Lefroy, but oh my god, my whiskey brain is going down. Yeah. But yeah, it's like a really, really old whiskey island. That's all they basically make there. I just want to go there and hang out and learn about it the way we did about wine, and just get faded and eat some haggis and like the whole 9 yards. And then I think I would like to play golf in Scotland.
Oh, me too. It's wet and rainy. Just to say you did it.
My last name Boyd is actually Scottish, and so I mean,
just to say
somewhere along the line, somewhere in my blood came from there. So I just want to go check it out. I just want to say I did it.
The beard, probably.
And the other place I want to go is Iceland.
That's what I want to do. Yeah. Iceland
is impeccably beautiful, from what I understand, and that's just some place I want to go. All right, so before we leave you, we'll be here all day if we don't stop this shit. So
check out my lanaitravelclub.com, by the way, and it'll help you. And if you guys have any questions, please email me. @Lanai is my Instagram, Facebook. We should have put this on my Facebook too, live.
Oh yeah, we didn't think about that. We should have shared it on yours. Okay, so you're gonna have to do this episode 1 all over again. Episode 2 also featuring Lanai. Okay,
do this once a week if you want.
One thing that I want to talk about, because the whole point of the show is solid. So solid advice or tips or something. Like, if someone said to you, like, okay, give me something that you do to remain solid, like what is Lanai's secret to remaining Lanai?
Oh gosh, following my passion and not caring what other people think.
I've always make this easier.
I've always had this problem, and everyone does. What do people think? And I still do. I still get this because I want to make sure that everyone is happy. I have this thing about making people feel good, and I want them to be happy. And I noticed that when sometimes you follow your passion, it doesn't happen like that, because you got to go and get yours, and it kind of leaves people behind. But I've noticed that I'm a happier person. I was in the corporate world for 25 years. What a mess. I was unhappy, woke up at 4:30 every morning. I had fun, and it was part of my schooling. I wouldn't change anything. But following your passion, that's what makes Lanai. Everything I do is not work anymore.
Yeah,
I got 6 jobs.
You're just having fun.
I love
dude, we are the most Jamaican people in Hawaii ever.
Yeah, you too. You're the same.
People always say, man, you do so many things. Like, how do you do so many things? Like, when you have the time, it's really funny, because at first my old school answer would be like, well, I don't waste time doing things like watching TV. That's BS. I do watch TV. Yeah. But while I'm watching TV, I'm still working.
Yeah.
I'm still doing
the same thing, yeah.
It's hard to say that the whole thing about passion, which can normally get somebody kicked off my friends list real quick, is when I ask them what their passion is, and they're like, I don't know.
What makes you happy? What makes you happy, huh? How about that? Porn? Porn is not your passion.
And if porn is your passion, then start a porn site.
Yeah, or get involved with it. Be an actor.
Be a stunt cock.
Yeah.
A fluffer. Why do I know these words? Mom! Sorry.
Busted.
Hey,
right. Is this the longest podcast in the world?
Brian Hughes. No, not yet. We're almost done.
Okay. I want to make sure. Because I know we could talk for an hour.
We're at 45 minutes, but don't worry. We're doing good. Right. And look, people are still hanging around. So
cool.
There's that. I would say my first tip to being solid is, we talked about it earlier. For right now, I just want everybody to do something really, really basic. Your homework from Doc this week is, I want you to pick up a piece of paper and a pen, and I want you to write an actual letter to somebody. Your loved one, your kids, your mom and dad, your friends, someone who doesn't live here, an expatriate. Write a physical mother bleeding letter, and put an actual stamp on it and put it in the mailbox and send it to someone. It doesn't have to be a diatribe. It doesn't have to be anything other than a couple. You will lighten someone's world up to send them a handwritten freaking letter.
That's awesome, because I send cards to people still.
All the time.
And they blows people's mind. They get them like, what the hell? You get a phone call. You'll get a phone call, not a text, not an email. You'll get a phone call like, what?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah. So my letter is going to be to my buddy Eric from Two High Guys Now and Not One of a Kind. I want to congratulate him on his new shop.
Yeah.
I'm going to come and stand in the corner and see if he can sell me, because I'm one of a kind. So if you're ever down South Beretania Street near Jiffy Lube, people in Hawaii don't know addresses.
No, you got to say the spot, yeah.
It's by Jiffy Lube, across from the Big Tori.
Below the Ahi Assassins?
Yeah. Well, he's next to Ahi Assassins.
Next to the Ahi Assassins.
Two High Guys is below, so he made a shop above.
Oh, nice.
He likes to commute up and down the steps.
Right on.
Yeah, so go visit Brother E and go check out his memorabilia and sports shop. Maybe I will sell you one of my old crusty soccer cleats from when I played soccer in Japan. I'll autograph it.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Bruh, okay, last one. Before we're out of here, I need a pick of the week. This could be a place. This could be a food. It could be something you're reading, something you're listening to, watching. Just give a pick, something that you would share to the world, that if you could basically buy one for everybody, you would buy.
This is gonna be just for the guys who have kids. So this is gonna eliminate. Actually, no, any guy who you have
I have my niece.
Yeah, this would be very powerful for you.
Someday there'll be a knock on the door.
Yeah, so this would be, and if you have a daughter, there's a book called Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters. It is amazing. Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters. Get the book. I love to read, and I can't read big books. It's an easy read. An 80-year-old man turned it on to me. He had 6 girls, and I had I have 2 teenage girls, and he was like, "You want to make your life more simple? Get this book called Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters." Easy to read, and I'm not making any money off of this book, but it really helped me to figure out the bond between my daughter. And there's no bonds stronger than a father and a daughter, even a father and a mother, father and a son, mother and a daughter. There's the strongest
dudes can appreciate
bond.
That. We all been chased down the street by somebody's.
Right. Strongest bond is a father and a daughter. And if we don't start taking care of our girls, we don't start taking care of our daughters, they're gonna meet guys like him, or they're gonna go cross paths and make bad decisions. But you can create the strongest bond between your daughter, and you be her superhero. That's the bottom line. Daughters think of you as their superhero. So get involved in their life. Get this book. It's going to help you. It's simple. It was written by a lady who studied 5,000 teenage girls, and it's on point. And it's solid advice. I can tell you that.
I'll say, so I will put the show notes out there. Right now, the website for a Solid Podcast is still in progress. Because I'm getting the domain from Micronesia. It's going to be solid.fm. So I will put the show notes together and I'll post them on Facebook, but I'll also put them in an Instagram post. And then there is something called solid.podbean.com. That's solid.podbean.com. That's the easiest way to follow the show, put comments in, tell us what you know. Right now, we need feedbacks. We need to know like what you liked, what we can do to change it.
And you better not say not have me as a guest again.
Big shout out to Aaron Landry who's listening, and Montez Brown. You remember Tez? Used to hang out with James Coles.
Oh yeah.
Tez is listening from God knows who.
I think I do.
He said, "What's up?" So it was nice to see. My friends took time out of their day to check this out and listen. My pick of the week is going to be something super cheesy, but Cooking Hawaiian Style books 1 and 2 from Lanai.
Thank you.
And I say this because I didn't pay for mine. I got it free. But it has some of the best local recipes in there. And then when you do watch the show, you see cool stuff that I never tried before. Like you recently had Tia on.
Yeah, Tia, correct.
And an old school friend of ours who, of course, is way famous to either one of us.
Yeah.
But she made the little coconut joint. I can't even pronounce
Kankanin.
Cockroaches.
Kankanin. Easy to make, right? Yeah.
Bruh, she looked good, but that looked good.
I appreciate that because we're losing some of that. And you guys got to go support all these hole-in-the-wall restaurants. Jane's Fountain, Ethel's Grill. Look at Ono's is closing in October. I'm so sad. 80 years they've been there.
Ethel's is my spot.
Yeah, but all these hole-in-the-wall places, those recipes aren't anywhere. And that's why we did the cookbook. But thanks for
Hi, Corey. I love you, Chopsticks. Long time no see, baby girl.
Yeah, so check it out.
Yeah, so that literally is my pick. And maybe next time he comes to the show, he'll bring us something to give away.
Well, let's give away some right now.
Oh, you got some?
Yeah, but we gotta make
them do something.
Yeah, they gotta tag me on your post.
That's at Lanai.
Yeah, at Lanai, or Instagram. We'll take both.
What about you tell us what you want to see Lanai cook on Cooking Hawaiian Style. Man, this show is all over the world now, yeah?
Yeah, we're in 7 countries: Dubai, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, parts of Europe, in the Philippines. We're on all 50 states. We're on FNX, Time Warner, Cox Cable. You can find us on the Roku box. I'm so surprised. The thing just blew up on the Roku box. And you can also find us on Lifestyle Network and soon TFC. So we're expanding very quick. The hard part is us keeping up with it. But we'll give away one of these.
So yeah, get on the feed book. Hit me somewhere. Tag at Lanai, at Doc Rock, at Solid Pod. That's SOLIDPOD. And tell us what you want to see Lanai cook on Cooking Hawaiian Style, and we'll get a copy of the book. And then we'll also give away one of these Aloha Plate trucks.
These are worth like $200 now from Funko.
Yeah.
Mahalo to Alanota and MD for this.
It's going up. It's going up. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for checking us out. Big ups to my brother Lanai. Like, man, we've been friends long as dirt. I say, I remember that one time we went to go watch a live stream of Jesus walking to Nazareth. We've been around that.
I was holding the camera. I'm glad you're doing this, brother. Keep doing it.
Thank
Support
you.
Doc Rock.
Please share the podcast with your friends. My goal is initially twice a week. Right now, it'll be one with just me flabbing off at the mouth and one with a guest. If you have any guests that need to come and shout out, let me know. If you got something new you want to promote, we always try to promote, people that are doing something, doing big things. If you got a charity that needs help, like whatever you need, we got you. We will do you a solid. You see what I did there? That shit's funny. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will get this edited and posted up as soon as possible. Please go to iTunes and give us a review. That's how they know what's popping. We're also in the Google Play Store. If that's your swag, if you're one of those cats, do that. I think we're aiming for like Spotify, Stitcher. It's going to be everywhere. The video will be on Facebook and on YouTube as soon as I get it together. And thank you so much for watching the Solid Podcast. Aloha.
Aloha.